Hey, I'm Cameron McKenzie at CameronMCNZ on Twitter, and I wanted to talk to you about how you can take that Hello World application that I created a little while ago, and it's really easy for you to create on your own, and take that Hello World application that was built inside of UiPath Studio and push it up to UiPath Orchestrator and have a robot run that application. This, at cloud.uipath.com, is UiPath Orchestrator. And this is UiPath Studio. And as you can see, I've got a nice little Hello World application that does nothing more than just spit out Hello World. But it's a good place to start if you want to learn how to create robots and deploy applications to UiPath Orchestrator. So how do we get this application, Hello World, up to UiPath Orchestrator? Well, I've just registered for UiPath, so nothing's created yet, so I'm starting off from scratch. The first thing you have to do is click this salacious Create New button. Choose the option to add a tenant and then give your tenant a name. I'm going to call it the Insights service because it represents my orchestrator service. I'm going to say thank you for the free licenses that UiPath provides, and then the orchestrator service is created. Once configured, you'll see this blue link that links you to the orchestrator UI. I'm going to click it, and then in just a moment, a brand new user interface appears that allows me to work with UI Orchestrator. Now there are two folder types you can see in the top right-hand corner here. Notice it says Modern folder. I don't want the Modern folder, I want the Classic folder because the Classic folder makes it much easier to create robots. So notice how that's switched now to Classics folder. Again, you don't want to be in the Modern folder, you want to be in the Classic default folder. That's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, if you want to deploy your Hello World application to UiPath Orchestrator, you have to create a robot that's going to capture that application when it gets published and run that application. So under Management, I've got this option to create a robot. I'll click the plus button, choose to create a standard robot, and there's a few fields that need to be filled in here, and I actually need the DOS prompt or command prompt in order to get some information. You can just type CMD into the search window there and type in who am I in the DOS prompt. And notice it says ThinkStation/visitor. Hostname is another way to get some information. That tells you your machine name. What you have to do is you have to take this machine name and type it in under the description where it says machine. And so my machine is named ThinkStation. And so under machine here, I'm going to type in ThinkStation. Now, there is actually a step to create a machine. It's a separate step that you can do, but I don't see any need to do that step when you can create a machine right here just by typing in a name. It does confuse UiPath a little bit. Notice it says, hey, that machine doesn't exist. You didn't create that manually. Do you want me to provision that machine for you? And I say, yeah, do that for me because I like doing all the steps at once. Now that's not your robot, that's the machine your robot's going to run on, and that represents your local machine. That's why I had to get the host name or the who am I machine name. Here's where you give your robot a name. I'll call it the Insights robot. You can give it a description if you so please, and this is going to be an unattended robot. Now a couple of other things you need to provide. Again, this robot is going to run not in the cloud. The cloud will say when it starts and when it stops. It will schedule it, but it runs on my desktop. So this cloud computing environment controls stuff going on my desktop machine. And that's why you actually need the domain name, and you also need the username in which the processes are going to run on that local machine. My computer's named ThinkStation. The user account that I'm using is called Visitor. And so under domain name, I have to provide ThinkStation/visitor. And under password, I have to put my password in for the local machine. This is not the password for UiPath. This is the password that you would actually use to log in with that user account visitor on your Windows desktop. So with that entered in, I'm going to click Create. That creates a robot that is going to run my Hello World application. I also need to configure an environment. This is a step that people often forget about because environments up there, that tab, the contrast in the font really isn't that great, and so it's easily overlooked. But after creating the robot, you have to create an environment. I'll call it the Insights environment. And when you create it, the tool says, hey, do you want to add a robot to this environment? And of course I want to add a robot to this environment. That's why I created the robot. That's why I created the environment. And so I click Insights Robot there, and now the environment and the robot are both associated together. Now that creates the unattended robot. You'll also notice if I click here on Machines, that there's actually a new machine created called ThinkStation. I can do without this default machine being created. That's only going to cause me problems. This ThinkStation machine is what was created during that robot creation task. This ThinkStation has a special key associated with it, and of course it's accessed by this URL here. Now those are important pieces of information because in order to connect your desktop machine to UiPath in the cloud, you need those two pieces of information. Now when I installed UiPath Studio, UiPath Assistant was also installed. I'm going to open up UiPath Assistant. I'm going to click the cogwheel, click on Orchestrator Settings, then you may get pushed into the General tab. I want the Orchestrator Settings tab, and notice it requires an orchestration URL and a machine key. The URL, that's just everything in this URL prior to underscore orchestrator underscore. So I'm going to copy all of that, paste that in the orchestrator URL. And then the machine key is this key over here for the machine that was created. And I'm going to click that copy link to give me that long hexadecimal code. And I type the machine key in there. I click connect. And now this program running on my local machine is going to try and connect to this UiPath Orchestrator running in the cloud. It looks like it was connected successfully and it's licensed. With that done, you can then go into your UiPath Studio where you've got your Hello World application, and you just click this Publish button. Don't click the drop down, it'll probably be blank and confuse you. Just click the heart of the Publish button. It'll then publish this project. Notice the project's name is UiPath.HelloWorld. It's going to send it to UiPath Orchestrator. I'll click Publish. It'll sign the package, send it to UiPath Orchestrator. And now if I come back to UiPath Orchestrator and click on Packages, look at this. UiPath Hello World is there, and it says it was published just a few seconds ago. So that's my project in UiPath now being deployed to UiPath Orchestrator. Now I've got my code up here. I've got a robot created. The next step is to create a process that's going to run that code. So you associate the code with a robot. So I come up to Processes. I click the plus button. And it says, what package do you want to run? So I'll look at UiPath.HelloWorld, which was just deployed. I'll provide a name. Notice it wants that Insights environment. That's that step that I did after I created the robot. A lot of people forget that. And that's all that I need to supply here. I'll click the Create button. Now my process gets created. And now with that process created, I can just click this Start a Job button. It'll ask me what robot I want to use to run the job. I'll click on Insight Robots and then Start. And when I click Start, the command is sent to my client machine. And of course, it's failed because I typed in the wrong password earlier. So let me reconfigure my password. I gotta stop having such a long password. So that's just a matter of going in here to Robots, Editing, updating the password. And after the password's updated, I can just go to Jobs and then rerun this job. Click Start. The command is now sent to my machine. So I restart the job. Choose my robot. The command is sent. And then Hello World comes up here, and you can see where it says pending. When I click OK, it then gives the feedback that things are successful. And that error message down there is just from the previous things that I run when I didn't have my password correct. So there you go. Make sure you put the correct password in there. But that's how easy it is to deploy your Hello World application to UiPath Orchestrator. And there you go. That's how easy it is to deploy a little Hello World application to UiPath Orchestrator. Now, if you enjoyed that tutorial, why don't you head over to theserverside.com. I'm the editor-in-chief over there. We got lots of great tutorials on enterprise software development. Also, if you're interested in my personal antics, you can follow me on Twitter at CameronMCNZ and subscribe on YouTube.